The 2024 track and field season is now in full flow, and on my journey to qualify for the Paris Olympics, we've reached a key point in the mission as I travel to Belgium for my final attempt to secure my qualification for the European Championships. Not only am I chasing a fast 200, but I'm also feeling sharp and looking to challenge my 100 metre PB in London. We're just a few weeks out from the Olympic trials, so it's time for me to step up my game and get the business done. So it is Thursday. This is the last training session before I race in Belgium over 200 metres. Today is basically just my pre-meet session. So we're going to be driving out the blocks, doing 4 times 30 metres. The aim of today is just to focus on good horizontal projection out of the blocks, staying low for 20 to 30 metres. I'm flying to Brussels around midday tomorrow. Got a rest day Saturday, and then we're racing Sunday. And that is my last attempt to qualify for the European Championships. So we've got to nail this 200. As I mentioned before, the key with this is making sure that especially the first 3 steps are nice and snappy. And I'm getting my foot down quickly without rushing the step, if that makes sense, and staying nice and low with the heel recovery. So I'm getting out here, really punching this hip through, but then driving back into the track and not reaching and pulling the track. That's not what we want. Gonna do a practice start now, and then we'll be in. Let's go. So it's my final training session before I fly out to Brussels in Belgium for my last 200 metres before the European Championship team is selected. We're working on my acceleration today, which has been the main focus of the last few weeks. So let's get some good 30 metre reps in right before we fly out. That projection that I just got out of the blocks, I just need to do it again now. Do that and I'll be nice and confident for the weekend. Let's make them good.
Johnny!
Alright, session completed. Got some good reps in. Especially that third rep. That third rep was so nice. If I replicate that at the weekend, we're on something good. That's shown some signs of promise that I haven't felt even during the last couple of weeks. So I'm hoping we've timed this to perfection for this weekend. So I'm gonna go home now, rest and recover. Tomorrow I'm flying out to Brussels. I'll probably check in over the course of the weekend. I'm not running until Sunday, my last shot to qualify for the European Championships. We're done for the day, so go home. I'll check in tomorrow. See you in a bit. You know the drill, flying out. I'll check in when I get to the hotel. Brought the flipping English weather with me, but whatever. I think tomorrow's supposed to be a bit better than today. I'm gonna get to my hotel, get checked in, and then we'll see what's what. Alright, we're grabbing some lunch with a couple of the boys.
Alex Haydock-Wilson, my second appearance in these vlogs.
Indeed it is. First appearance.
LD, Lewis Davey, first appearance, my debut vlog.
And we're just waiting outside this very weird takeaway. We have some like vouchers. Let me see if I can find one. So they gave us these, and that's what we use to get food. So it's not even part of the hotel. We basically just have to wait outside here until they bring us the food, which is a bit weird. Talk to us, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling good, mate. I've got my salmon tagliatelle on the go now, so I'm ready.
I'm feeling good, man. I'm seeing a car getting washed over here.
Tell them about your gyros.
Yeah, we got some chicken gyros.
And then we're gonna go and eat it back at the hotel. So I'll check it in a little bit.
Little tip. Never be rude to the waiter. Never be rude.
So after having my lunch and then quickly heading to the shop to get some water and snacks for tomorrow, I decided to head down to the track as the first day of competition was currently going on. So I used it as an opportunity to check out the track, the stadium, the warm-up area and watch a few of the 100-metre races that were going on the Saturday. Also, quite a few of the guys from the training group were competing in the 100 on the Saturday, so I thought I'd take the chance to go down, see them, get an idea for the conditions and see how they got on. So yeah, quickly before I left the stadium for the day, I made sure to scout out the warm-up area, see where I was going to warm up for the next day, and after what I would class as a successful scouting mission, I headed back to the hotel and I decided to have a quick shakeout before I went for food in the evening. Right, we've got some food. So this is just like a mixed vegetable. So yeah, some mixed veg in here. Flipping heck, it's going everywhere. Got some plain rice here. That's gonna hit the spot. That's gonna do the job. And then I'm just gone for the same as what I had for lunch. Boom. Protein, rice, carbs, veg, some vitamins. I'm gonna eat this food and then I'm officially chilling for the rest of the evening. And I'll check in tomorrow morning on race day. See you in a bit. Well, the weather has changed.
It's a big day now. Big day. Big things are happening.
Right, today is now gonna be fast. Heading down to the track now. Gonna start my warm up in like an hour and a bit. I'm getting down there nice and early. I've got to make sure it is fast, so I will make it happen. The sun's out, defying the odds. It was like 80% chance of thunderstorm, and there's no way it's going to thunderstorm. So it looks like I called the weather too soon, as we had the competition delayed by 1 hour due to a heavy thunderstorm, but we finally got back out onto the track eventually, and I'm ready to lock in and start this warm-up. Okay, thankfully the rain has stopped. Gonna go get my stuff now, start a slow warm-up, get ready to go. See you on the track. Let's get it. So after shaking off the rust a few weeks ago in my season openers, it's finally time to lay down a solid 200. This is my last opportunity to prove good form before the European Championship team is selected, so I have to make this one count.
$20.85 for fourth. You know what? I'll take it. A big season's best, a lot better than last week. Wet track, big season's best, and it's only my second 200 of the season. Things are going in the right direction for sure. I felt more like myself coming down the home straight. The bend felt okay. I just need a little bit more aggression, but I think as a race plan it felt okay. I'll review the race when I've actually watched it back, but yeah, get warmed down. Much better, things going in the right direction. Pray for this selection, we'll find out in a couple of days. So yeah, see you in a bit.
So as you've seen, I've crossed the line in 20.85 seconds, which is a big season's best, a much better performance than my season opener, and something that I'm happy with moving forwards. Definitely some mistakes made in the race, relaxing a little bit too much coming around the bend, but nothing that can't be fixed soon.
This is quicker than my second run out last year, and I think last year it took me until June to run 20.8, and that was in better conditions than today. So things are definitely going in the right direction. That was a clear mistake today. Like, taking my foot off the gas at around 30-40 was a clear mistake, and there's definitely time to be gained there. So I can't complain with that, even though it definitely could have been better. But we're back under 21 seconds. There's so much more to come. Like, today's run has given me a lot of confidence. So things are going in the right direction now. Hooray for this European selection. It's going to be close, because there's a few of us in the mix. I like to think that I've put myself in the mix for selection now, genuinely, but you know, it's not in my hands now. I've done what I can do. We've just got to hope for the best. Whatever happens, I know that I've done a good account of myself today, so let's get home, regroup, check in, have a shakeout when I land off the plane.
So after what I would say has been a very successful trip and a very good race in the 200, I checked out a few sites in the city, back on the way to the hotel, and then the day after I was back in the airport flying home, where I have my fingers crossed for the European selection and continue preparing for next week's competition. Alright, I have just had not a phone call but an email. Yeah, so the email informs me that I've actually not been selected for the European Championships, which obviously is pretty disappointing. Yeah, it's frustrating and disappointing because I genuinely thought that I'd done enough to prove my form, especially the trajectory that I'm currently on. This was one of like the big goals for the year, to make this team, and I've just come up short. So yeah, it definitely stings. Not too sure what else to say in the moment, but I have a training session tonight, so I'm going to go down to the track later, and then afterwards I'll check in with some more well put together thoughts on the situation. Let me see you at the track, and then we'll have a proper chat about the situation and what's going to happen over the next few weeks.
Power structure.
Just in a 60-metre session, 560s. Feel pretty good, stretching the legs out again off the plane. As you'll have seen earlier on in the day, I was informed that I've not been selected for the European Championships, which I'm obviously disappointed about. I've had a bit of time to gather my thoughts about it, and considering everything, you know, the ups and downs of the journey so far, I think everyone that's watched for a while should all agree that I've come a long way since September. Getting injured on the second week of winter training wasn't ideal. We bounced back from it, had a good indoors, picking up that little foot problem at the end of indoors, but Sunday I was very happy with. For myself, for my own personal progression and performance-wise, 20.85 in sub-ideal conditions, I'm really happy with that. And I think going forward, there's a lot more to come, and I feel more like myself. I feel like that's the first time I've done a performance that I've shown on the channel since I started this channel that I'm genuinely happy to show. Obviously, I've shown everything because that's the point of the channel, good, bad or indifferent, but this is the first time where I've raced and I've been like, you know what, that's pretty good performance. But that doesn't stop me from being disappointed about this decision. I wish that I'd have been selected, obviously. I thought that I'd done enough to be selected based on my progression. This is the same trajectory that I've been on the last couple of years and ended up running really fast. I know that I'm going to come into good form in the next few weeks, especially leading up to the Olympic trials and British Championships, which are at the end of June. I know that I'm going to be ready. I'm going to make sure that I am. So whilst it's very disappointing to miss that first big goal of the season, I've got to keep my chin up and take the positives from it. And the big positive is that I now know what I'm capable of again. It was a big confidence boost for me at the weekend. Did make a couple of mistakes in the race, not pushing through my full acceleration phase and kind of backing out of it at about 40 as opposed to driving through to about 60, 70 and then starting to cruise around the second half of the bend a little bit. The season's only just getting started. 20.8 in May. I didn't run 20.8 last season until June, so I'm gonna have a chat with my coach. We're gonna figure something out, and within the next 10 days I'll be racing somewhere else as well. To kind of populate the season, and obviously now we're chasing that Olympic standard. Now the next phase is gearing up towards those Olympic trials. I just have to do what I do now, get these next races in, be solid in training, do everything right, recover, sleep, eat, train well, get sharp, and I'm gonna show up to these races and make them count. Every race counts now, can't be throwing away opportunities. The journey continues.
Just 5 days later, and I'm down in London for a 100 and 200 metres to showcase my form and get after those season's bests.
Right, here we are. We're doubling up. I'm doing the 100 and the 200. The 100's first at like 1 p.m. The 200's at like 4 o'clock. And it's a lovely day, as you can see. I think the wind's going in the right direction too, so spot on day, can't complain with the conditions. Just got to go out there and make the most of it now. So just got to go out there, execute 2 nice races. Coming back off the disappointment of not being selected for the European Champs, I'm going to bounce back today and make something happen.
Power structure.
Insert cash, or select payment type.
Ready to bounce back from missing out on the European Champs, and after the race was called back for a faulty start, it's about time I laid down a fast 100. An overall pretty solid race, and I'm rewarded with a big season's best of 10.21. Although heavily wind assisted, I'm happy that the pieces are coming together. A great block start but a poor drive and transition left me behind pace in the first half, but my top end speed pulled me through to a close finish between a few of us. I decided to skip the second round of the 100 to focus on the 200, but the second round had a legal wind and most of the times were similar to round 1, so I know that we've got something cooking.
The first thing is the block start, really good. 0 to 10 metres, perfect, just what I've been practicing. And from 10 to about 50 wasn't the best at all. Basically, I was leaving my hips behind myself. I wasn't pulling through enough. Even once I was stood up, my hips were behind. I wasn't recovering the hip and getting the leg up. There wasn't enough lift. I was basically just trying to drag myself through. Windy or not, I'm not bothered. I'm just happy to lay down a decent time. Chop the warm up down a bit. Gonna relax here for a bit first. Execute a good 200, and this could be really quick today. Let's get on to the 200. See you out there. So as you've just seen, I've just pulled up in the 200. To be honest, my body felt strange coming out of the blocks. There was obviously some kind of power loss in my left side because I just felt really, not laboured, but just like something wasn't quite right. And then we got to, I don't know, maybe 60 metres round the bend, and I just felt my left hamstring just twinge, which is obviously very annoying. Today was showing really good signs of promise. I felt like I was in really good shape. Well, I am in really good shape. I've just run a huge season's best in the 100, albeit windy. Thankfully, it doesn't feel too bad, but I definitely felt a twinge on the outside of my hamstring. I've just got some ice on now. Yeah, as soon as I felt it, oh my days, somebody's on the track. Someone was just on the track whilst they were running the 400. It's just so frustrating. It's the month of Olympic trials. I have another race in like 2.5 weeks, so I'm just praying that I can get over this quickly. Whatever it is, I need to, get it diagnosed. Hopefully it's either a bit of cramp or something like fascial in the muscle, or at worst maybe a grade 1. This year has been testing, to say the least. I've just got to keep the faith, because that 100 was so promising and I executed it. My execution was 7 out of 10 at best, so I know there's so much more to come. Let me go home, see what's going on, rest for a couple days, and I'll check in before the video ends with a little update of where I'm at with it, and I'm hoping that it's not too bad. Other than that, thanks to everyone that, you know, came out today, showed some support. Had a lot of support from you guys today at the track, which means a lot to me. Sorry that I couldn't put on a show for you lot in the 200. Would have liked to, obviously. I'm gonna go home, checking in a few days, and I'll let you know the situation. So, it's a good few days later now. Luckily, things are looking pretty good. As you can see in the background, I'm currently editing this episode. Over the last few days, I've given it some rest. I've been to the physio, and luckily it's nothing major. It's a very minor strain. Already it's basically pain-free. I've done some light jogging, some drills, and we're back on schedule. So we're just gonna not do anything too crazy the next few days, but we're gonna quickly build back up. So yeah, just really thankful that it's nothing serious, and I'm pretty much going to be back to running straight away. There was a lot to unpack in this video, so I do apologise for the delay in getting this one out, but I thought everyone would appreciate having the full story of the last few weeks' events in one video. So yeah, thankfully we've got the conclusion from that little hamstring twinge that I had. We're all good. We're going to push forward, and I'm excited to see how the next few weeks go. I'm in great shape, as you've seen from the 100 metre that I just ran. I've got a couple more weeks to sharpen up. On the 30th of June, it'll be British Champs / Olympic Trials time. So I'll see you all in the next one. Thanks for watching, and the journey continues. See you later.